Good morning. Our hand today is going to be pocket tens. It's 25 NL. I'm on the button. Folds to me. I open raise. Pretty standard. And then I get big blind raises here. He's got a big stack. I started the hand with over 150 big blinds. He's playing 24/7, 0% 3-bet range. That's at least in the last, I think, 3 months, 12 weeks or so. 3-bet by position. That's what we're looking at, and that means then that his 3-bet versus steal 0 out of 4, 0 out of 5. So that's small blind, that's big blind. Full blind to steal basically has done it 100% from the small blind, 80% from the big blind. This guy seems like he would be tight. And I would normally think he's playing something pretty big. You know, at that point, we're looking at like ace king, ace queen. That's what we're kind of hoping he would have, that he doesn't have like queens plus or jacks plus or something like that, because we'd be really hurting this situation where I would probably just call, and then depending on the board, you know, if it's all low cards, I would continue. If it comes like with an ace and he continues betting, I think we probably just have to give it up. But if it's an ace and he checks, I think we have an opportunity to steal, because he's kind of saying that he's scared of that ace. We could easily have the ace. Since he doesn't bet, he could have kings or queens or jacks. We just have to be careful. Sometimes the players will check with ace king, like check call, like something I would do. What about notes on this guy? So I do have some notes, and I'm not reading the top of the notes because that was probably this hand. But anyways, I've got 3-bet ranges: eights, ace 4 suited, ace queen. 3-bet blind versus steals is eights and ace 4 suited. So I think his pocket pair is going to go down to at least eights, maybe sevens, maybe sixes. If he has this ace 4 suited, he probably also has these, and then also our big ace X suited hands. And I'm going to give him like ace king, ace queen, king queen as well. I think that's probably a suitable range. Could be a little bit wider, could be, you know, could be playing aggressive with like raising those hands. I know I would often try to do it, maybe raising pocket fives, you know, going down to fives, maybe including ace jack off and king queen off. I think we'll keep this. That's his range. So once he 3-bets, what do we do? What do we continue with? And this is going to be, it's going to be a little bit harder. So I think we are definitely going to be raising here. I don't think I have anything related to 3-bets. So I think we are going with our, like if we get raised here, we're going with 3-bet with like definitely ace, like queens plus, ace king, probably king queen suited and ace jack suited. I think we're going for those. I think we have 4-bet or calling range. Some of these others like ace queen off, maybe ace 10 suited, maybe king jack, maybe even jacks. I think when it comes to just folding, I think we're playing something like this. We are trying to be a little bit cautious here because we had a pretty big range to begin with. And definitely we just don't, offsuit hands just aren't that good. I know a lot of people would play them, but I think we get a calling range like that. So we are definitely folding a lot of hands. Just a lot of hands. And again, we've got easy 4-bet here. We would probably 4-bet a couple of these hands, maybe about 5 or 6 of these. We could potentially, or we could call them. So I think we're just going to make this my calling range. And I did call. I think 10s are definitely worth a call. All right, comes out Jack, Jack 6. Kind of a difficult hand. I would have rather have this come ace high, because I think if it comes ace high, villain's gonna reveal the strength of his hand. Maybe even king high. Because if he checks, then I could be pretty confident that he does not have the ace or the king, usually. Jacks are a little bit harder because I think this is a hand where ace king's going to continue, ace queen's going to continue, and we beat those hands. But likewise, same thing with aces and kings and queens. Those are all going to continue betting here. So villain checks, which is a little bit unusual for me. So I'm going to say, with like the 3 of a kind, we're going to give him, we're going to say, let's say 50% of the time he's going to check this 3 of a kind. But I think he would probably bet an overpair. Well, again, we'll do 50% too. We'll give him some chance where he checks it instead of betting. I think, based on how this is played out, maybe he's checking all of the rest of these. I would assume, though, that he has some, he would check some of those as well. Or I'm sorry, bet some of those. So the 50% of the times that he would bet 3 of a kind or overpair, he would probably also bet like ace king, ace queen. I think we will include that. And then you have like the no made hands. So I guess I should say quads. I'm going to probably leave 100% quads. I mean, he's hammered the board. He's checking that. So that's his check. What do? We can obviously bet. I think we can bet. I think this is kind of favorable to us. It hits us. I think he's showing weakness. He's showing weakness. So let's see here. What would we attack with? I think we attack with quads, full house, 3 of a kind. We have them smashed. I think we attack with like pocket pair below the top card, middle pair. We don't want to see free cards going that could possibly beat us. I'm thinking ace, king, queen at this point. If he checked, those are definitely a possibility that he has ace, kings, queen, ace, king, ace, queen, king, queen type hands, and we're currently ahead. So I think he's going to call with him. Yeah, maybe. It's a 3-bet pot. There's 2 jacks on the board. Is he really going to give me credit for a jack? Probably not. So we're going for these. We're kind of getting a pot, because if I bet now and then the turn comes and it's a low card, I don't think he's going to call again with those. So we can kind of take his equity. I think we have quite a few bluffs already. I'm not sure if we need 2-card backdoor flush draws. I think overcards are a check. I think those are definitely a check. 2-card backdoor flush draws, we are probably looking at hands that might pick up some hands. I don't like doing it with like the aces, because if we have an ace, it makes it less likely that villain has an ace. So I think we're looking at something like this, where we can kind of throw these bets out here just kind of as a bluff. And that might be it. That might be it. But we're going to attack. We're going to try to rep a strong hand. So I bet 6 into 16. He calls. So the question is, he checks. What hands does he call with? I don't think he calls with the no-made hands. So he doesn't have any of those. Does he call with all of his ace-x hands? Maybe. We'll leave him in. Like ace-2, the ace-5. He's got an ace. Maybe he check calls with those. And then probably goes for a check fold if he doesn't hit an ace. So I think we're gonna go with that. Turns the ace. Dreaded ace, because I think he is very capable, and I think a lot of players are, of just check calling with ace-king, ace-queen. That was not favorable. Villain checks. I think he continues checking here. We showed that we're going to bet. He's going to continue betting quads, full house, three of a kind. I think basically his entire range at this point. He's betting 100% of hands. He still figures to have a better range than me, better strength of the range, and now it's on us. What do? We bet. He calls. I think we bet with quads. I think we bet with full house. I think we bet with three of a kind. I think those are value hands. I think we are checking our flush draws. We are checking these pocket pair hands. And then I think what we're doing is probably betting those 2-card backdoor flush draws that missed, just as a bluff. We're gonna try to rep that we're not afraid of the ace. At this point, we're trying to get some of these hands to fold. We are unbalanced, so I think these weak pairs too. I think maybe we're gonna convert some of these, like 2s and 3s maybe, to the bluffs, or actually better yet, I think we're gonna leave those. Better yet, I think we're gonna do like 5, 6, 7, 6, because we've just like kind of like lost it. The best we're gonna go for is a 2-pair, because even if the 6 pairs and gives us, you know, a full house, 6 is full of jacks, we could be behind any jacks full. At this point, we're just hoping we can get folds. We can fold out maybe those other pairs. You know, we're looking 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, maybe queens, maybe kings. So we're just saying we're not afraid of that. So I checked, and that really does change the strength of my hand here. I still have the flush. I still have a flush, but at this point, my hands really, I've slowed down. I've taken stabs at it. I think we're still ahead. Some of his calling range, we're still ahead of like these hands, but I think we're just kind of beat by all of the other hands that he could have. So 7 of spades comes out. I think if he bets, we're just folding here. It's a tough fold, but I think when we look at it, when we think about what is he going to be betting here after we checked behind and showed weakness, I don't think we're going to have enough hands to kind of see it. So like his probe is 0 out of 2 on the river. His probe is 2 out of 5 on the turn, which is actually kind of interesting, because you don't. I mean, I see it. You check flop. You're right, Mr. C bet, and then player goes ahead and bets to try to be aggressive. I see that. Now he bets half pot, and the question is, what is he doing this with? I think now he's betting quads, he's betting a full house, he's betting 3 of a kind. I think he's betting his top pair, maybe not all top pair. We're going to take out those and give him like ace king, ace queen. Do I think he's betting the rest of these? I don't. I mean, maybe even if he bets the rest of these, you know, how ahead am I? In other words, like what is our equity? So let's do all of his as the bets. And I mean, if he's going to do all of those weak pairs, then I think he's probably going to do that with like the ace 2, ace 3, ace 4. So that's his range. We'll just use my 10s. 10 of hearts, 10 of spades. And let's get our board on here because we are going to the river. All right, so 10s versus that range, we're about 20%. We need to be 25%, so 25%. He's b-bet half pot, so we're getting 3-1 on our call. Do we have 25% equity? According to the list, no. According to the ranges, no. Would he change up his sizing? That could be a question. So instead of betting half pot, if he goes lower with like quads and full house, then we could probably eliminate those, and that could change equity as well. So let's change that. But still only about 20%. Only about 20%. So yeah. If we change our hands here with our 10s, so thinking from Villain's perspective, if he bets, what do I call? Let's say I don't call with all of my weak pairs. Let's say I only call with those, which are still behind. What does he see? Yeah, now we're ahead because we're only calling with big hands. So yeah, I think we should be folding this. I think we're gonna be behind too often. We're not getting the pot odds to justify our call, because I think Villain's is going to be mostly strong. Even if he bets smaller with his full house plus, you know, it's basically his range. Is the best thing we're looking for is he has 8s or 9s. That's the best thing that we're looking for. Could he have had like king queen? Maybe, but I kind of feel like he would have just folded that on the flop. I think quite a few players fold that on the flop, and of course they could. I mean, it's a possibility that they won't. So, you know, we take this and say, you know, no made hand. He calls just a call. Then ace of hearts, it goes check check, and then we've got the 7 of spades. And now if he bets everything here, and I'm sure this is what I was thinking of. Now let's change my 10s, get my 10s again. Now we're at 30%. So what was his call to c-bet? If we think he's going to call with basically everything because he doesn't believe me and he's just going to call, see if he can spike a pair, then we're close. And that also relies on him betting after we show weakness on the turn. So I'm not sure if I like this. I do think it's unlikely that he has kings or queens. So I don't really think he's going to have that. I kind of feel like that he probably would have bet that. I think ace is definitely in his range, and that he would bet aces like this. And then everything else is just a bluff. So I did call, and I'm sure this set showed 8s here. Yeah, 3-bet versus button, 3 big blind, steal and big blind, 8s out of position, c-bet. Oh no. Did I bet the turn? No, we didn't. Is that the same hand? Ace 6. Yeah, no, we didn't bet 50%. He bet 50% on the river. So he called. He shows 8s. I think it just kind of probably got lucky on this hand. So yeah, check called 33%, bet 50% after showing weakness. We can add our suits here. Jack of club, jack of hearts. This was 6 of diamonds, ace of hearts, 7 of spades. So, all right. I think we kind of got lucky. I think that's one of the few hands that he could actually have. I think generally speaking, on this play, we're probably going to lose this hand when we call. I feel like that's going to be the case most of the time. And I needed 25%. I just don't think I'm going to have 25% equity in a situation like this. But it comes down to what does he call with. If he calls with king queen, if he calls with, jack, that's here 10-9 suited, 9-8 suited, because he has like backdoor flush draws, then maybe he turns those into bluffs and that increases our chance. But again, we have to really know that player. All right, hopefully you enjoy this hand. If you do, look tomorrow for another one.